Moonlight and sunlight with raging rivers and still seas and wonderfully gliding waterfalls and gushing geysers with black, beautiful chocolate skins of a radiant race created to create and invent, created to lead and stand tall, but wounded and worn out, bent and battered. Dreams, I hear the deep sounds of sorrow. I hear loud laughter. I hear strains of songs, wailing and weeping, groans and grunts, cries and crackles. I hear claps, claps of hands, rhythmically imploring the divine nature. I hear the music of the forest, the silence of the desert. I hear the rhythm of Africa. All through the night, I dream dreams of Africa. Dreams of her painful beauty. Dreams of her serene bondage. Dreams of how her seas have been turned against her. Africa, even her children join others to haul her to the dark, God-forsaken continent.
Considering all that has happened before and what is still happening in Africa, I have thought about our future as a continent and where we must start from. We need to dream a different African dream. You think it's not possible? Do you? We need to disrupt the darkness and bring Africa into the light of our hearts. It is time. This is the appropriate time to fully understand who we are by deliberately ensuring we know our history.
Our history?
Yes, that will lead us to a better understanding of who we are.
Yes. See, Africa has been referred to as a dark continent. Now let me ask you, can you categorically state that you're proudly African?
Do you know why? Because you either do not know or understand what has gone down in history.
Because you have no knowledge of the greatness of your ancestors. Because you have no full understanding of who you are or the great things our African ancestors, heroes, heroines, and inventors have done and are still doing.
See, most times we say we are proudly African. We show off. We show off our beautiful African attire, the variety of foods from Africa, our unique dance styles and our music. But we do this happily with an unfortunately battered and colonized mindset that prevents you and I from fully having the right African mind that will propel us to discover ourselves in history and make us choose national unity, no matter what.
Because our minds were gradually turned away from our roots, even before we were born. Your fathers, forefathers, that you call grandpa, great-grandpa, great-great-grandpa, they had a shift in their minds due to the sting of the colonizers. It spread all over the melanin covered skin, mind, body, and soul, making the past become a dim, blurry light that gradually faded off forever. Forever or not? The authentic African minds were influenced by the invaders, thus making the African way of life, tradition, religion, and more to be termed as demonic. Such is the world you and I were born into. The past no longer matters. We see our Africa as as a dark continent with dark minds, living in a dark, God-forsaken land. But no, to the world, we are seen as a continent on the edge of humanity, within and outside of it. Our gaze of Africa is seen through its representation rather than substantiation. The false representations gradually confine our collective memory. Hence, we forgot the existence or possibility of sunrise, of sunlight, of a perpetual African dawn. You know, this is what they want you to believe. They want you to remain ignorant of the greatness of what you and I carry, of the greatness of what we possess, of the importance of our existence to humanity. We must dream new African dreams. Yes, the over 400 years of slavery and 100 years of colonization definitely can't be forgotten. But it's time to dream new African dreams and make today's celebration and commemoration worth its while. Your Africa, my Africa, our Africa, a wild, beautiful, raw, dynamic place, a land with its mesmerizing tapestry of landscapes, cultures, and abundant wildlife, and of course, a wealth of reserves still hidden beneath its soil. We need to dig deeper to uncover the lost treasures of our enthralling continents. Didn't we recently learn in history that our ancestors contributed so much to the world in terms of their great inventions? Research has shown that they invented writing, paper, the 365-year-long calendar, clocks, and time-telling devices, mathematics and mathematical textbooks, toothpaste, wigs, makeup, the Great Pyramids, and so much more. Didn't we learn that they were highly civilized before they were invaded separately, before slavery, before colonization, all which took its toll on us?
See, there are great men and women in history who have contributed to the promotion of national unity in their own unique ways. Yes, and in so many ways. Majed Vashek, he is probably remembered for his popular Send Down the Rain song. Yes, but his music sent down so many rainfalls of strong messages aimed at educating us to be conscious of our history as a people. His song, African Unity, calls on Africans to unite and put religious differences aside, telling us that Europeans and Americans are getting stronger every day while we continue to engage in these unnecessary clashes. The song reminds all Africans to stick together irrespective of tribe, language, or religion. His songs carry messages of hope, love, peace, and unity.
The Rasta King Bob Marley and the Wailers Band played more than just catchy tunes. His music was filled with powerful messages about love, hope, freedom, and the fight against injustice. As a member of the Rastafari movement, his African culture was a key element He used music and performances as a platform to advocate for social justice, including unity among Nigerians. His songs remain relevant till date.
Fela was the son of a human rights activist, Olufunmilayo Ransome Kuti. She's who you may rightly refer to as an Amazon. She's recognized as the first female Nigerian political activist and lovingly known as the mother of Africa, a woman of courage and one of the leading figures in the country's struggle for independence. Olufunmilayo's voice vehemently condemned colonialism. She strongly advocated for women's rights and unity.
What upon Nkrumah, the first Prime Minister and President of Ghana? He once said that the essence of neocolonialism is that the state which is subject to it is in theory independent and has all the outward trappings of international sovereignty. But in reality, its economic system and thus its political policy is directed from outside. Can you not see what's happening in Africa today? One man, Nkrumah, has said it all. It is clear we must find an African solution to our problems, and this can only be found in African unity. Divided, we are weak. A united Africa could become one of the greatest forces for good in the world.
In 1803, in the United States, rather than submit to slavery, a group of Igbo slaves chose to walk into the ocean and drown themselves. While tragic, this historical event, referred to as the Igbo landing, symbolizes resistance and unity among enslaved Africans against the brutality of slavery. In the same vein, in 1929, the Aba Women's Riot was a significant anti-colonial uprising. These Igbo women protested against British colonial policies and taxation. They demonstrated unity and solidarity in their resistance against colonial oppression.
What about Queen Amina or Zaria? She was a legendary Hausa warrior queen in present-day Nigeria. Queen Amina expanded the territory of Zazzau Kingdom through military conquests. Today, she's celebrated for her leadership, bravery, and efforts to unify the region. King Jaja of Okobo was equally a 19th century merchant and ruler of Okobo Kingdom in Niger Delta. He played a significant role in the resistance against British colonial rule. King Jaja promoted unity among the people of the Niger Delta region in their struggle against colonialism.
Aretha Franklin, an African American with her music, inspired a generation of activists. She was a dedicated philanthropist throughout her life, and she was never far from the path of social justice. Martin Luther King Jr. was a prominent leader in the African American civil rights movement. Uncle King advocated for non-violent protest and civil disobedience to achieve the goal of equality and justice for African Americans. His famous I Have a Dream speech
in order to shape the present and future. To dream new dreams requires an understanding of the reality of the past. To know that some people, whether individuals, communities, or groups, stood for justice, fairness, peace, and unity.
What are our ancestors saying to us today?
They say, O ye sons and daughters of this diverse and grandiose continent, be proud of your African heritage, culture, and beauty. The rich, silky, velvety, melanin-covered skin glows with constellations of our ancestors. Your wonderful being is a lovely vision in the desert sun. Your creativity, brilliance, and vastness forever resembles a stunning flower in full blossom. Know this today, a historical consciousness is required for national unity.
Will you join us on this path of knowledge? Let us dream new dreams and make them a reality in our generation.
I'm glad that you all have shown that you're true Africans that are recognizing the efforts of the future African leaders that we just had on stage. Finally, we can say that Africa is alive. Just look at that. That is the kind of holistic education I'm talking about. And can we celebrate the CCAF Teens Group and also the amazing students of Blooming Lights College? Please, a round of applause for them. That was stunning.